If your transmission is starting to fail and you ignore it, you're not looking at a small repair. You're looking at thousands of dollars. But the good news is your car is usually going to warn you. Welcome back. If you've been here before, if not, my name is Craig. This is Papa's Custom Cars, where I show you how to fix it yourself, save money, and take control of your vehicle. So you ask yourself, regarding your transmission, why this matters. Well, your transmission is one of the most important and expensive parts of your vehicle. And there's the problem. Most people don't realize it's failing until it's too late. I've got one right now that I'm working on that as I'm driving it, it takes off from the light and it's going really, really, really slow. And I'm like, this is weird. I'm thinking the engine is bad or something's up with the transmission, but it just has no power when it takes off at all. And then I realize it's not starting in first gear. It's starting in second. And so this alone is causing the vehicle not to have that oomph that it needs. So again, this is a sign that this vehicle is telling me, hey, something's not right here. You want to check it out. So a symptom like that can be what you're looking for. So let's go through a few of the symptoms, shall we? So today we're going to talk about some of those warning signs and how you guys can figure out what's going on early. So that's the warning sign number one is delayed shifting. You put the car in drive, nothing happens. It sits there for a minute and then it goes into gear. Be it forward or reverse, it doesn't make any difference. This delay before the car moves can dictate that there's an issue. That issue could be low transmission fluid. It could be internal wear. It could be have valve body issues. But that is an indicator for you that you need to start checking things. The first thing I would do is check that transmission fluid. An example is the Chrysler 200 that I was working on. Excuse me. The Chrysler 200 I was working on, when you put it in gear, it would take a minute and then go into gear. And that indicated that there was something truly wrong. And it basically snowballed from that point forward. The transmission fluid was low. Okay. So you want to know a couple of things. And in this particular car, I needed to know, why is that transmission fluid low? And if you go back and watch the video, you'll see it had a leaking transmission pan that we repaired and good to go. Now, when I refilled it with transmission fluid, it called for 4.5 quarts, I believe. But because this had been leaking for a while, more than just what was in the pan had leaked out of the car. So when I refilled the pan and I went to move the car, it again had that slight issue. And so I added another 1/2 quart and then checked it, and it was still a 1/2 quart low. So it actually needed 5 quarts instead of just the 4. So that alone caused that car to shift, to have that hesitation before it went into gear. So that is a number one indicator that you need to check those things out, starting with your fluid. That small delay now can cause issues later. Next warning sign is a slipping gear. So say you're driving down the road and your speed goes up and you don't go any faster. So meaning the engine RPMs go up, but the car is going the same speed. Very strange, but that's an indicator that there's an issue. That when you're sitting at a light and you go, the car doesn't accelerate properly. I mean, it doesn't go right away. It hesitates for a minute or seems like it's not going fully at its speed. That's a slipping transmission, and that can be a problem. So you definitely want to go through again. First thing off, check your trans fluid. So in this case, that is your transmission slipping. That's a big red flag. You want to have that checked immediately, either by you or by a professional. That way you don't end up destroying a transmission. The next is going to be a hard or a rough shift. Like say it's going from gear to gear and it's just going bang into the next gear. And this vehicle I'm working on right now has that issue. When I was going along and it wasn't taking off like it should, I'm thinking to myself, well, let me just try something. So I took it and manually put the automatic transmission down into first gear, And first gear was there, and it was solid, and it took off like it should. But when I went to shift from first to second, it was very violent and definitely drew attention to the issue. So if your car is jerking or slamming into gear, that's not just how it drives. It's not supposed to do that. The little Chevy 1500 that I just sold, it had the same issue. When it went from first to second gear, it wanted to rip your back off. Come to find out, it was a throttle position sensor. But again, a very large problem could have developed if that had been ignored. So again, you want to make sure that your transmission is shifting properly. The next warning sign is transmission fluid issues. When you pull that stick out of your transmission, that transmission fluid should be red. I mean blood red. And that's the sign that the transmission fluid is clean and everything's up to date. If it's a brown or dark or an off red, that means there's garbage in that fluid, and that fluid needs to be changed. And there's a lot of cars out there that have issues with transmissions that if you maintain that fluid and change it regularly along with the filter, you'll make sure that your transmission stays in good shape. So you definitely want to make sure that that fluid is clean and reddish colored. What you don't want to see is that dark brown or black. That would be horrible. Or if you smell it, you can smell it. If it smells burnt, that tells you that that's an issue. You've definitely got an issue going on inside. That's a big danger sign, is that means that internals inside the transmission are actually burning. And that's why you're getting that smell. So definitely a big warning sign. The next thing that it could be is a warning light. A lot of the newer cars, the transmission is directly connected. So the next warning is your check engine light. More and more of these cars now have these computers in them that monitor every single system, and included in those systems are your transmission. I had it was a Jeep I think I was working on where I actually ran a code because it had a check engine light, and it actually said that there was insufficient fluid pressure in the transmission, meaning that there was a reason that it wasn't working properly, and it detected a problem. So in analyzing this problem, I went underneath the vehicle, and the transmission pan was leaking like a sieve. And if you go back and you look at the Jeep video, you'll see what we had to do to fix that. Again, another Chrysler product with a leaking transmission. It appears to be a common problem that people repair these things and don't repair them right, don't use the right sealer, that type of thing. But anyway, these can be warning signs for you that you need to pay attention to. Again, that check engine light is telling you something's wrong. Get it checked. Don't ignore it. A lot of people will ignore that. Don't ignore anything like that. You definitely want to make sure that those warning lights are addressed, and that that by doing this, those codes will point you directly to what the problem is. Be it low transmission fluid, be it low fluid pressure, whatever it may be that's causing that transmission to act up. Those modern cars will tell you, hey, this is what's wrong. You need to get this taken care of. So it really comes down to what you can check for yourself. Before you panic, here's what you can do. First off, check your transmission fluid. That's utmost of importance. Pull that dipstick. Look and make sure that fluid is up to level when the engine is, or the transmission, I should say, and engine are warm, and the fluid is where it's supposed to be. Now, a lot of the newer cars, they don't come with dipsticks anymore. You got to go buy one. I would suggest going and buying one. Like the Chrysler that I have doesn't have one, which is just unbelievable. But again, you can go buy these things. You could check your fluid and make sure that it is red, make sure that it's full, make sure that it doesn't smell, make sure that it's not dirty, and that it's in good condition and ready to go. Look for leaks under the car. As I was saying, that Chrysler 200 looked like you could see it dripping off of the pan while the car sat there. Same with that Jeep. Same thing. I haven't got underneath this other Dodge yet to figure out what's going on here, but I do know that it's a solenoid. But again, we'll discuss that in a different video when we replace that solenoid. Pay attention to the way that the vehicle shifts. The way it shifts can tell you there's an issue. Again, that Chevy, I thought it was something to do with vacuum because that's the way the old transmissions worked. No, it wasn't. It was just a little $10 part. It was a throttle position sensor that was just off enough to make that transmission think that the vehicle was at a different point than it was when it shifted, and that's what made it shift hard. So a $10 part saved a $3,000 transmission repair. Same thing can happen with you. Pay attention to the way it shifts. Is it slipping? Is it shifting hard? Does it not seem to be in first gear? All of these are indicators that something's wrong, so you need to investigate that further. Next, scan for that code. When that engine light pops on, scan for that code, especially if you're having an issue with the transmission. You definitely want to make sure that those two are not related, and if they are, fix what's wrong. Real simple to do. It's, it could be something as simple as just low fluid. That like I said, that the Jeep actually told me, hey, the transmission front pump is losing prime, and that came from it being way low on fluid, meaning the last person that had it that didn't bother to check it, because we checked it before we moved it. Actually, we towed it here. That way we knew we didn't do any damage, but they didn't check the fluid. And if they did, they just kept refilling it, not realizing there's a leak. And in the long run, that could have caused a major issue and taken that transmission out, costing thousands of dollars to repair. So again, scan for those codes, follow up on what they need, what needs to be done. Like I said, sometimes it's just as simple as not even changing the fluid, but adding fluid, changing your filter in there. If it's slipping or grinding, that's internal. You need to take it in as quickly as possible. Yes, it is going to cost you a couple of bucks, but at least you're going to be able to know that your transmission's in there before it's completely destroyed, because if it continues to grind and slip, everything inside that transmission is going to be shot, and they're going to have to replace more and more parts, which means more and more money. And to you and I, that's not a good thing. We want to save as much money as we can. So let's talk about the cost reality. Something as simple as a fluid service, which is a fluid and filter change, can be done at any of these local shops. They're relatively inexpensive. It's $200 to $250 if you don't do it yourself. If you do it yourself, it's probably more like anywhere from $30 to $50, depending upon the part. Minor repairs are going to run you from $300 to $600, or I'm sorry, $300 to $800 more realistically. A full rebuild, $2,000 to $4,000. A replacement, $3,000 to $6,000 plus. Some of these new 10-speed transmissions, these automatics, are expensive. So, it's really important that you take the time to figure out what's wrong before it becomes that major repair.